Fine hair like this is different from thick hair, because when you're working with thick hair, all you're really trying to do is get it smooth and you're trying to get it straight. A lot of people, I think, find it easy to do that, but I think trying to make fine hair fuller is a lot harder. I find the drier the hair is, the better the result. So I do a lot of finger drying in the beginning. When I say that, I really just try to kind of push the hair where I want it to go. And I'm pushing those roots in the direction where I'm going to be blowing it anyway. And when you're picking equipment, I'm so fussy with the equipment I use. I like dryers like this, I'll tell you why. They're really warm and they're really hot and they dry the hair really well. But they're not those dryers that are basically like a wind tunnel where they're so powerful where it's like, you know, you get all that hot air. I find the stronger the blast of wind that comes out of it, the more the chance of getting like static and getting the hair flatter, because it just dries the hair way too quick at such a high speed. So I like a wind speed that's kind of moderate, but the heat is high. I find this dryer really great. You know, I tried this the first time I did it. It's a GHD dryer. I've got this other dryer, which is a Babyliss dryer, and it's one of those Ferrari dryers that have like the turbo. I love that too if I'm drying things quick like extensions, but I find to do a blow dry, it's way too powerful. You know, and then you're battling with people going, ouch, I'm burning my head. You know, it's just too hot and too powerful for just to do an average blow dry. You see how I was talking about that C? As I'm drying this hair, I'm pushing this all forward at the front.
Would you do the same if someone had really long hair? Would you do the same if it was really long hair?
Yes.
First time I see this thing.
What's that?
The first time I see this thing.
What about if their hair was really curly?
A lot of people that have fine hair, I have a lot of clients that have really fine hair, and when they travel, they have such a hard time getting the blowout. And it's because they start blowing the hair out wet, they take tiny little sections, and by the time they're done, the hair's just flat to their heads, you know?
Frank, what about if their hair was really curly to start with?
What if the hair is curly?
So,
What if the hair is curly? What if really
the same thing. I do the same thing. The hair will look a little frizzy and a little kind of blasted out, but you know, once we get into the blow drying, I'm going to show you how to smooth it all out, and they're all really smooth. Kind of taking this section by section. what I'm doing, I'm giving the roots some direction at the same time. I'm putting some body into the hair.
That beat turning upside down, you know? When I was a kid, they would tell me, like,
Sometimes if the hair's long, I do that. I like doing this better. I have more control over what I do.
better.
I've already put a little bit of volume in the hair just by finger drying it. Once I get to this point, I'll get out my brush. I really like these brushes. The problem with these brushes is I constantly have to get new ones. And I'll tell you why, because I really like them when they're old. And it takes a while for them to get like this. As soon as they get like this, I start getting new ones and start working the new ones, and so they become like this. So as they kind of get a little bit old, I keep replacing them. So that way they always are like this. I find when brushes are new, they tend to be a little stiff. These are Ibiza brushes. They're boar hair. I find these the best to use for blow drying.
Which?
Ibiza. You can get them online.
What kind of hair?
What's that? It's boar. It's 100% boar bristle. So now that I've got like this, I just, with my brush, I just start getting it a little smooth. I work with those sections.
So you're almost doing like an up and down motion.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly what I did while I was finger drying, but I'm doing it with the brush.
Is there a certain size brush that's right?
I don't like them too big. A lot of people like using those big, huge brushes. I find they make the hair too straight. Usually, these are like my favorite sizes. I think that's a 2-inch and a 3-inch brush. And once I get those roots kind of a little bit where I want them to be, I start focusing on getting these ends a little bit smoother than what they are. But a lot of getting them super smooth, I'll do at the very end.
And always in an upward motion.
Always. Upwards, over direct, and forward. What I'm trying to do is get rid of that where it's going to wrap, and I'm going to make it wrap around the other way. You see, just that kind of body we're already getting. Really simple, really easy. Like, I always do this. I think you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be able to blow out like this. It's just so simple. I think once you're shown how to do it, you're like, oh, it makes sense, you know? So I'm just working on the other side. The same thing again. Really focusing on these little hairs there. Trying to catch those in my brush and making sure that they get pushed up. A lot of people say to me, oh, you're strong, you got these big muscles, it's easy for you to do this. One of the stylists in my salon, she was my assistant for 4 years. She's like this tiny little girl, this big, like really little, and she can do a blow dry as good as me. So, that's not the case. It's just that I've taught her where to put the tension and where to do it, and And the point is you don't need to be a big, strong person to do a really good blowout.
That's good. Yeah, that's a great one.
No, a lot of people start at the back when I do a blowout. I always start at the front. You know, I always think once I get the front looking good, I kind of work the back into it. I think it's really important to get the front looking nice first. That way you can build your whole blow dry around it.
Kind of like from the ears like forward.
Always forward. Now the way I'm blowing this out too, most people have those crazy colors. I go like this and I wrap it and I put all the heat from behind. And if I have a really crazy pellet, then I just lay that down flat. I'll hold this and just put my hand there and I just pull it down until the hair is kind of like pulled up. And you'll see that by the time we're done with this, when you open the hair up, absolutely no pellet stuff in the hair. When people say, oh, you know, my hair doesn't blow out right, I get these crazy pellets. I think, you know, anyone that's been taught, it's like, okay, so what? We can take them out. It's not a big deal. You know?
Uncle Lane said my mom once got in stylist and they broke my entire hair off. I didn't know how to use it or I don't know how to use it. Awful.
But for now, we're going to get this a lot smoother, but for now, I've got this looking really good where I want it. And you notice I didn't really do a lot of sectioning. I do all the sectioning now. Now that I've got this front, and I'm like, okay, this is looking good. I've taken all those crazy colors out of the front. I've over-directed all that front. You know, you can see the hair doesn't wrap around the ear anymore. I've got all that body around the face. So from here, now I start sectioning. And I'll get this back going. And it's the same thing, just as I was doing, all forward and over-directed. I always tell hairdressers, if you can do a good blowout, you'll have a really strong business. I think people really judge hairdressers by how good their blow dries are. And I think if you can't do a blowout, you're really limiting yourself and you're limiting your growth. And for you guys that are makeup artists that really want to be able to be booked for hair and makeup, it's so important. And all these kind of like patterns that I'm using, whether you're doing it with a brush and a blow dryer or a curling iron or a straightening iron, you can achieve the same thing. Because I'm going to go over this with an iron when I'm done and you'll see it's going to be the same direction, the same pattern I'm doing. Now sometimes too, a lot of people tend to go like this.
Yeah.
And like this is really fine hair. I'm gonna blast it up backwards. All the way up. We're actually gonna get more like blasting it upwards. And it's not necessarily that I want it to kick up or flip. There's a difference between doing this, going down and rolling it, or getting the section and going straight up backwards. This is the equivalent as if your head was upside down and you're blowing it like this.
How did you discover your passion?
What's that?
How did you discover your passion?
I say, when I was really young, I had crazy curly hair, and I hated it. So I think when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I used to go to the hair salon with my mom. She used to get my hair done every Saturday. And I used to beg her to take me because the girl there would blow my hair straight. And I used to be so happy with those girls, you know. So I think, you know, having crazy curly hair, it made me learn how to do my own hair. And then my brother had curly hair, so then he would say, oh, can you blow my hair straight? So I'd blow his hair straight, you know.
That's my son. He stands up at least 20 minutes every morning before school, and then he for his hair because it's very curly.
It's hard, you know, when you're young, you have this crazy, frizzy, thick curly hair, you just hate it, you know.
And a baggy haircut is a nightmare.
So we're just doing the same thing. Now sometimes when I'm blowing hair out, I want to get a little bit of back combing. I call it like an air tease. But sometimes I don't want to do it with the comb. And sometimes you can do it enough just with the dryer. You can just blow all those little hairs down. And it's almost like giving it a back comb. And then I kind of just wrap it kind of all in the brush like that. And just set that back on the end. You can see, I'm going to turn you around. Well, let's do the back, I'm going to turn you around to see if it's coming to You can see I haven't really backcombed the hair at all. But something like this is going to make that blow dry last for her. You know, she's not going to lose that body in her hair. creating a little bit of a backbone. So you can see kind of what I'm doing. I'm not worrying too much about this because this still needs to be a lot smoother, but I'm going to do that later with irons. It's a lot easier for me to do that with the curling iron than to do it. All I'm trying to do now is just focus on the body and the volume I want.
Oh yeah.
How long does it usually take to be
I'm in the salon like 15 minutes. I do it really slow. Usually I'm like, Alright, let's turn it around again.
What do you enjoy the most? Coloring, bodying, or doing hairstyles?
Honestly, I enjoy all of it. I love blow drying hair because I think it's
Wow.
I think it's really good to create something. I like cutting. I find that a lot of hairstylists today that I meet on set don't know how to cut hair. And I find that strange because to me, when I'm doing a haircut, if I don't cut it, then I think, okay, how am I going to blow this out? Because it's like building a house. You build a foundation, you build everything, you know, but then you don't know how to paint it or how to make it look nice, you know, so you need to know what to do from underneath to know how to style it. So I enjoy cutting, but I really enjoy coloring. I think coloring is what I like doing the most, more than anything. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I do sometimes some before and afters. And you can see how I literally like transform people's colors, you know. I get people that have like really obvious looking color. And I think by the time I'm done with them, their hair just looks so natural. And even the blondes that I do that have really like dark black hair, they come out like beautiful blondes that you'd be shocked to even think that they color their hair.
Black hair, blonde, and one makeup.
I build color up. I think when someone's going from dark to light, I like to do it where it's many shades. So sometimes I'll do a couple of sets of highlights and then I'll start lifting the base up. And then I'll do a balayage and an ombre and I do a lot of different things. So by the time I'm done, the hair looks completely like sun-kissed and light and supernatural, you know? I like, no, sometimes it might take, like my assistant, she's got black hair and I took her very light. I did it, it took maybe like a month to do it, because every few days we're doing a little bit more, we're adding to it, you know.
Good.
The reason you need the brush there is to like set it. That's what's called it.
Sometimes I do, I leave the brushes in, but not very often.
But the reason is to like you can't help it stay like so what's everything going to help it.
Just while the hair cools off, the hair's hot, the hair gets cold.